Hi, Richard Greaves, Remax Alpine Realty, and it's mid-October, October 19th actually today, -8 outside, it's freezing. But here is your market update for the third quarter, so July, August and September of 2020. If you saw my update for the second quarter, you'll know that it was a really slow second quarter primarily because of COVID, and we had roughly 77 sales in that second quarter, which is usually our busiest time of the year for sales. So we were a little unsure what was going to happen as we came into July, August, September. Was it going to stay the same? Were we going to see a bit of an uptick? We weren't really sure what was going to happen, and I don't think any of us really expected what happened to happen. But it was absolutely bonkers. And the third quarter, we ended up with 225 sales for the 3 months. And July had a record sales month of 85 sales for the month. August was a record too for that month. August is usually a pretty quiet month for us in sales in Canmore, and we had 68 sales in August. And then September rolled around and it just kept rolling. We had 72 sales for that month. So overall, coming out of the second quarter, we were about 100 sales down on 2019, and coming out of the third quarter, we're only about 20 sales down on 2019. So 2020, actually, if we continue to see the kinds of market activity that we've been seeing over the last 3 months, could be very much on par from a sales volume standpoint as 2019, and 2019 was our busiest year in a long, long time. So really turned around. Things have really turned around in the last quarter for Canmore real estate. What does that mean? It means that our average price point in the third quarter was about $781,000 for a property in Canmore, and things were selling in about 64 days. Now, when I look at the second quarter, things were selling in about 77 days, and things were selling in 92 days in the second quarter, not 77. And in the first quarter, they were selling about 68. So while we knew the second quarter with COVID and the uncertainty, things were taking a little bit longer to sell. The third quarter, it's bounced right back. When we look at average price, as I said, average price in the second quarter was, average price in the third quarter, sorry, I'm getting my numbers mixed up here. Average price in the third quarter was $781,000. Average price point in the second quarter was $775,000. And average price point in the first quarter was $735,000. So our average price has been steadily increasing over the year. When we look at how that compares to 2019 for average price point, so from January 1st to September 30th, 2019, our average sales price for property in Canmore was $713,000, and it was taking about 62 days to sell. Looking forward to 2020, January 1st to September 30th, we are at an average sales price of $769,000, and days on market are about 74. So days on market, about 10 days longer to sell things, but we've got an increase of about 7.3% on the price year over year. October, moving through to October, it has been another busy month for us. It'll be interesting to see how sales shape up for October. Inventory is starting to slow down a little bit that's coming to market. We still do have fairly good inventory levels, although some of those market niches within that inventory are definitely a bit short. We've still got some pretty big pent-up demand, and new buyers still coming into the market looking for property for the wintertime. And so I do anticipate that our market's going to be relatively active, at least through November, depending on the weather. So it's going to be a really interesting time to see how the last quarter of the 2020 shapes up. We've been really surprised with the third quarter, as I say. Certainly we've had first-time buyers coming into the market. We've had families that are in the market already moving up. We've had continued to have people that want to retire to Canmore. We've got cheap interest rates. You can get a mortgage for about 2%. That's driving the market. And we're also seeing now people saying, hey, my company's figured out that we can work from home, and so I'd rather live and work in Canmore if I can, than live and work in the city. So we're certainly seeing some of that. And I think we're also seeing a lot of those dollars that people would typically spend on vacationing elsewhere in a year, now that they are staying in Canada, looking for somewhere to get away from the city for a few nights or a few weeks at a time. So Canmore is looking very strong over the next few months, I think, from a real estate perspective. But we'll see if that pans out or not. As always, if you have any questions, please either give me a call, 403-688-7629. You can also reach me on email at richard@alpinerealty.ca. Thanks for listening and thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon.